Okay, people, today I'm going to talk about something different. A psychological diagnosis that is not in the DSM. In fact, it's something that I came up with through observation and life experiences. It's called malignant apathy. It's where you're not suicidal, but you don't care if you live or die, you know? And I know quite a few people who have been in that situation, and admittingly, well, I'm not going to comment on that. But, because I've already discussed my autism and ADHD and things like that, but I'm not going to dive too far into my mental health with this one. However, malignant apathy, it's where you're not suicidal, or at least not actively suicidal, you just don't care. It usually comes about for a variety of things. It could be a lot of things or just one thing, because I know a woman who lost a child, and she said that sometimes she was suicidal, other times she just didn't care what happened to her. Symptoms of malignant apathy include risk-taking behavior, such as drug use, sex, like random sex or casual sex, getting into fights, pulling off dangerous stunts, like driving too fast or too wildly, you know, committing crimes, and not really caring if you get caught or not. Basically, doing a lot of high risk things. It's like if you are a recovering addict, there's a very high chance you will relapse during a bout with malignant apathy. Malignant apathy, I feel, can be brought on by a number of things, be it a death in the family, a hormonal imbalance, a chemical imbalance, you misusing certain types of drugs, losing a job, losing your home, some kind of loss like that, or a death in the family of like a spouse, a child, or something like that, or maybe everything just seems so pointless for whatever reason. Usually there's a variety of factors involved, but I definitely think that there's never been a diagnosis for somebody who is not suicidal but just doesn't care if they live or die. There is one very famous fictional example of malignant apathy, and that is the character Paul in the movie All Quiet on the Western Front. If you look at the end, he proclaims that he no longer fears anything and doesn't really care if he lives or dies. And if you've seen the movie, you know what happens. He gets killed by a sniper. And as one of my friends joked, he was right. He never again felt fear for the rest of his life. He went through the whole rest of his life without fear. Now, granted, the rest of his life wasn't very long, but he went through his whole life without fear. But, you see, the thing is about malignant apathy is that obviously it can result in death, and sometimes including, but by no means limited to, suicide or suicide attempt. It can result in you doing something that will get you killed, seriously injured, thrown in jail or prison, or, relapsing, or dying of an overdose, or catching a pretty nasty disease such as HIV or hepatitis. That sort of thing. And another thing is that, like, a lot of times people will, during a bout with malignant apathy, will refuse to take their medications, or at least not take them as much as they should. Like a diabetic might neglect to take their insulin, a HIV positive person might neglect to take their medications. People who have schizophrenia or bipolar disorder might not take their medications, and people with epilepsy might not take their medications. Things like that. And it's just I think malignant apathy deserves to be in the DSM. And I don't have a PhD or anything, so a lot of people will probably brush me off as just some random guy. But I've studied this shit, and it's definitely worth a shot. If you're a mental health professional, please message me below and tell me what you think. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Be good, y'all. Peace.